Something extraordinary just happened in Naples. A moment shrouded in mystery, hope, and divine intervention. A miracle, or rather, its delay, sent ripples of tension through thousands gathered inside the cathedral. And yet, as the evening fell over the city, faith was rewarded. For centuries, Naples has been a city of contrasts, where faith and fear intertwine in ways only a people profoundly devoted can understand. At the center of it all stands Saint Gennaro, protector of this ancient city and witness to its struggles and triumphs. His blood, preserved for more than 1,700 years, continues to defy science and deepen the faith of believers around the world. But why does this relic matter? What makes the liquefaction of Saint Gennaro's blood so mysterious, so powerful? And perhaps most importantly, what does it mean when the miracle doesn't happen? On December 16, 2024, inside Napoli Cathedral, thousands of faithful stood waiting for a sign. A miracle they believed would come, as it always has. But as Monsignor Vincenzo de Gregorio lifted the ampoule, the blood remained solid. A rare and unsettling moment. Fear gripped the faithful, for history teaches us that this delay can signify more than meets the eye. A warning, perhaps? A call to prayer? The echoes of past hardships reverberated through the cathedral, but faith never wavered. The prayers of the people continued, and hope remained alive. As hours passed, the vigil of the faithful persisted, their prayers ascending like incense. And then, at 5:40 p.m., something incredible happened. The blood of Saint Gennaro liquefied, and the walls of the Duomo shook with applause and cries of joy. A miracle at the 11th hour, a sign of hope, and a reaffirmation of faith. What does this miracle mean? Why does Saint Gennaro's blood continue to stir the hearts of millions? And how did this sacred event unfold in such dramatic fashion this year? Join me as we journey into the heart of Naples to uncover the story of Saint Gennaro, the power of his relics, and the meaning behind the miracle that has captivated the faithful for centuries, culminating in what just happened this December. To understand the miracle that captivates Naples year after year, we must first meet the man at the heart of it all, Saint Gennaro. Who was he? And why does his name echo through the centuries, carried on the lips of the faithful and guarded in the heart of a city? Saint Gennaro was not born into fame or power. Like many saints, he was a man of quiet conviction, a shepherd of souls, a bishop who walked the path of Christ during one of the darkest and most dangerous times for the Church. It was the 3rd century, an era of bloodshed under the rule of Emperor Diocletian. Christianity was illegal, and its followers were hunted. Among them stood Gennaro, Bishop of Benevento, a man devoted to his flock and unshaken in his faith. The story goes that Gennaro was betrayed and captured for aiding Christians who refused to worship false gods. Taken to the amphitheater of Pozzuoli, he was sentenced to death, first by wild beasts, then by fire, and finally by the sword. Yet, it is said that none of these torments could claim his life, not until God allowed it. In the end, Saint Gennaro gave his life as a martyr for the faith, beheaded in the year 305 AD. His blood, collected by the hands of the faithful, became more than a relic. It became a symbol of hope, a mystery of the divine, and a testament to the unshakable bond between this saint and the people of Naples. But here is where the story takes an extraordinary turn. For centuries, this very blood, sealed in glass and safeguarded within the Duomo, has defied the laws of nature. On specific days, it transforms, liquefying before the eyes of the faithful. How can this be? Is it a sign of divine favor? A miracle that reaffirms the connection between heaven and earth? Perhaps this is why Saint Gennaro remains so beloved, so deeply intertwined with the soul of Naples. He is not just a saint of history, he is a living protector, a guardian whose presence is felt as strongly today as it was centuries ago. But the story of his relics, his sacred blood, and the miracles surrounding them is far from over. What is the deeper significance behind the liquefaction? And what does it mean when it doesn't happen? Let us go deeper. Join me as we uncover the mystery of Saint Gennaro's relics, the miracles that shake the faithful to their core, and the extraordinary events of December 16 that left a city waiting in hope. For centuries, relics have held a profound place in Catholic tradition, tangible connections to the saints who walked before us, bearing witness to their holiness and intercessory power. Yet among these sacred treasures, few are as extraordinary or as enigmatic as the blood of Saint Gennaro. Contained within 2 glass ampoules, this ancient blood, said to have been collected at the time of Saint Gennaro's martyrdom, has defied time itself. Solid and dark for most of the year, it mysteriously liquefies during 3 sacred occasions, a phenomenon beyond the reach of science, yet deeply rooted in faith. The first, on September 19, marks the feast of Saint Gennaro, the anniversary of his martyrdom. The second, on December 16, commemorates the miraculous protection granted by the saint in 1631 when Mount Vesuvius threatened to consume Naples. And the third occurs in May, when the ampoule is carried in solemn procession through the city streets. And yet, the phenomenon remains shrouded in mystery. Scientists have studied it, theologians have reflected upon it, and skeptics have questioned it. The ampoule is sealed, untouched by human hands. Its contents, dark and unmoving, suddenly flow like fresh blood under the watchful gaze of the faithful. How is this possible? To the people of Naples, and to Catholics worldwide, the miracle is not about proof, but about presence. It is a sign that Saint Gennaro continues to intercede, to protect, and to walk beside his beloved city. But here lies the question that stirs hearts and minds: why does the blood liquefy? Is it an act of divine reassurance, a gentle reminder of God's enduring power? Or perhaps, a warning when it remains solid, as if heaven itself calls us to repentance, to prayer, to reflection? And what of this December 16, 2024, when the blood remained firm in the morning, a moment of unease, only to liquefy as evening approached? What could this delay mean for us today, as we prepare to enter the Jubilee year of 2025? A miracle delayed, yet fulfilled. This is the beauty of the miracle, the tension of waiting, the fervor of prayer, and the reward of faith. The relics of Saint Gennaro remind us that the mysteries of God are not meant to be fully understood but embraced with trust and devotion. And as his blood liquefies, we are reminded that heaven remains close to earth, and the saints remain close to us. But what happens when the miracle doesn't occur? When the blood remains solid, and silence lingers? History offers answers, and warnings. Let us now journey through those moments when Saint Gennaro's intercession seemed distant, and discover what they reveal to us today. What happens when the blood of Saint Gennaro does not liquefy? For the faithful of Naples, this is not merely a delay or coincidence, it is a moment that stirs the soul and echoes through history, carrying an unspoken warning. Throughout the centuries, the absence of this miracle has often been seen as a forewarning. A divine sign that trials or suffering are near. The faithful call it un monito, a reminder from heaven to pray more fervently, to turn back to God, and to prepare for what may come. Consider the year 1939. The miracle did not occur. Months later, the world plunged into the darkness of the Second World War, a conflict that would claim millions of lives. Again, in 1973, Saint Gennaro's blood remained firm, and Naples fell victim to a devastating cholera epidemic that struck the city's heart. These moments are etched in the memory of the Neapolitans, a city that understands both suffering and resilience. When the miracle does not come, it is as though Saint Gennaro himself urges his people to return to prayer, to trust in God's mercy, and to walk humbly through uncertainty. But what about this year, December 16, 2024? As the ampoule was lifted and the blood refused to move, a shiver passed through the cathedral. The silence of the morning was heavy, the absence of the miracle impossible to ignore. Was this a sign? A warning for Naples, for Italy, or perhaps for the world? History reminds us that God speaks in many ways, sometimes through his saints, sometimes through moments of stillness that call for repentance. The Church teaches us that such signs are not meant to frighten but to awaken hearts, to stir souls into action. They are calls to prayer, unity, and faith in the face of uncertainty. During the morning Mass this year, Monsignor Vincenzo de Gregorio reminded the faithful of this truth: the failure of the blood to liquefy is interpreted as a warning or a call to prayer. A reminder. A challenge to renew our trust in God and seek his mercy in these troubled times. But Saint Gennaro's story does not end here. As the day wore on, hope persisted, and the prayers of the faithful continued to rise like incense. The delay became a test, a moment of waiting, of faith in its purest form. Would the blood liquefy? Would Saint Gennaro once again offer his sign of protection? And then, just as the faithful prepared to accept the silence of the day, the miracle came. It was December 16, 2024. A day long etched in the hearts of Neapolitans, a day of remembrance, reverence, and hope. The faithful once again filled the great cathedral of Naples, where for centuries the miracle of Saint Gennaro's blood has unfolded. This year, however, a cloud of uncertainty hung over the crowd, as if something unseen weighed heavily on the air. The ritual began. Monsignor Vincenzo de Gregorio lifted the ample for all to see, 2 glass vials, the dark blood of the saint still solid within them. All eyes were fixed on this sacred relic, and silence fell over the cathedral like a veil. At 10:03 a.m., the moment arrived, but the blood remained motionless, still as stone. A wave of unease spread through the crowd. For the faithful of Naples, the failure of the blood to liquefy has long been a reason for concern. It has happened before, during dark chapters of history, the onset of World War II, the cholera epidemic of 1973, the devastating Irpinia earthquake of 1980. To the people of Naples, Saint Gennaro's blood is more than a relic, it is a message. A sign of protection when it flows, a warning when it does not. And yet, the faithful did not despair. Even as the morning passed without the miracle, they knelt in prayer, holding vigil, their hearts steadfast in hope. For hours, the ample remained solid. Hope flickered like the candlelight, but the faithful knew that miracles unfold in God's time, not ours. The afternoon turned to evening, and still, the prayers continued, unceasing, unwavering. And then, at 5:40 p.m., just before the evening mass, it happened. The impossible became reality. Under the gaze of the faithful, the blood of Saint Gennaro liquefied, flowing like life itself within the glass. A wave of emotion surged through the cathedral. Applause mingled with tears, and prayers of thanksgiving rose to heaven. It was more than a miracle. It was a message, a sign of divine protection, a reassurance that the saint's intercession still holds fast over Naples. In this moment, the bond between heaven and earth, between Saint Gennaro and his people, was once again reaffirmed. In a world filled with uncertainty, Saint Gennaro's miracle stands as a beacon, a sign that God is present among his people, working through the saints to guide and protect us. And so, as we prepare for the Jubilee year of 2025, we carry this miracle with us as a reminder of hope, faith, and divine love. The miracle of Saint Gennaro reminds us that faith is not a passive act, but a living, breathing relationship with God. It calls us to trust in his timing, to remain steadfast in prayer, and to embrace the mysteries he reveals through his saints. Whether the blood flows easily or delays, Saint Gennaro's intercession continues to guide and protect us. It is a sign of hope for a world in need, a reminder that God is always present, even in the moments of silence and waiting. As we prepare for the Jubilee year of 2025, let us take this miracle as an invitation to deepen our faith, to pray unceasingly, and to trust in God's providence. Saint Gennaro has once again shown us that the bond between heaven and earth endures, a miracle renewed year after year. If you found this story of faith and mystery as inspiring as I did, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. There's so much more to explore about the miracles of our faith, the lives of the saints, and the beauty of Catholic tradition. Thank you for joining me on this journey of faith and wonder. See you in the next video, or miracle.